Hey everybody, I'm Maria from Cooks Who Care, and we are talking about a great topic for Beyond the Table, which involves balance, trying to handle it all, doing everything, being a parent, trying to run a business, trying to be successful at what you do, and I can't tell you enough, and I'm sure you can empathize, that that's a challenge for a lot of people, female, male, what have you. I don't know how we all do it, and I think that it's just good to start a conversation about how we're getting things done, and also being human and being alive and being a parent. So I have a really great guest here to talk about these things and to just get the conversation started. So can't wait for you to hear about it.
I come from a Mexican family. We have cooked our whole life, and I've been cooking since I was 15. Am I nurturing enough? Am I around enough? Did I help them enough? I'm a servant, and if you want to cook and you forget that, then you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you're not doing your service justice. Hi, my name is Jen Zavala. I'm a Philadelphia chef. I'm currently doing my own catering, so I do private catering, some consulting and staffing, and I'm a full-time mom. So I've been in Philadelphia for about 10 years, so I consider this my home, and I love my culinary community here, so I do pretty much anything I can to contribute, especially when it comes to women in the kitchen. I try to be out there to represent girls that look like me.
This is always important for me to say that you volunteered to talk about motherhood and how you're really handling it all. And maybe I shouldn't use the word handling.
Right.
You just do it. But I think what I would love to know is, can you give us some insight of what it's like to be you doing work and home together?
Motherhood in the culinary world is a very taboo thing. And when I first, I'm at two different stages in my life of motherhood. So when I first had my son, I first came to Philadelphia. And now that 10 years later, I'm having another son, and I've already established myself in Philadelphia. Reflecting back 10 years ago to when I first came here, I didn't tell anyone that I had a child, because being a mother is seen as some sort of sign of weakness. You know, your child's gonna get sick, you're gonna call out. That's automatically the immediate reaction to people, and that's the reaction that I had to women, is you have a child, you're gonna call out. And I can't take that risk in hiring you, so even though you are at this level, I'm gonna put you at this level where I can afford to lose you. And so I just didn't tell anyone. And I think the hardest part in doing that was, am I doing my child a disservice by not mentioning them and being proud of that? But unfortunately, to get your foot in the door, that's what I felt I needed to do, is just not say anything. So behind the scenes, I'm freaking out. Like, how am I gonna get childcare? What am I gonna do if he does get sick? Like, so you have to make that decision in your life where someone has to make the sacrifice between you and your partner. Or if you don't have that support system, finding it and making the sacrifice financially to be able to free that up. You know what I mean? To do it. And my kids are going to be restaurant kids, so I just have to kind of help bring them along with me so they can see, you know, maybe this is in your future, or, you know, this is what made you, this is what's going to put you through college. This is what pays for our mortgage. This is what pays for our vacations, and you have to understand it. It's always a little odd to me when people have any kind of job and their kids don't know about it. You know what I mean? Why are you working that job? You're working that job to support your family, and your children should know what you do. My father's not here, my mother's not here because they are at work cooking food for so-and-so. You know what I mean? Like, it's so important that they know what you do and get them involved. And because culinary is an unconventional way of working, I've been very fortunate to bring my children with me sometimes when I go places. And if people won't talk to me, or people are bothered by it, then I don't want to work with them anyway.
Are there sacrifices that you've made, like personally and professionally, that you constantly consider to get yourself to where you want to be?
Yes. I think Again, it's different for everybody based on the circumstances of their life. You tap out of your life, you tap out of your personal life, and all those major holidays that are coming around, you're not there. You're providing that holiday and that special occasion for someone. So that is the immediate always for anyone, is always time. And pay. Secondly, as a woman, I can definitely say that pay is also a huge sacrifice. And to be relevant, sometimes you have to not be paid to be relevant. And it's time is not free, time is money, but you have to give your time sometimes to get what you need and where you want to go. And that's another thing that's also very challenging, that affects everyone, but specifically really hard for parents and moms, because as a woman, you're also not getting paid as much as a man, but then on top of it, you have to lose even less. You have to lose even more. And my sacrifice is taking time away from my children to become relevant, to keep sustaining my life. And I think friendships is also another thing. You don't get to have time to nurture those friendships, and you don't get to have time to bloom and begin new relationships with people, because you just don't have that.
Yep.
And so you have to make those choices. Do I want to feel human, like a woman, stimulated by conversation from other women or just friends? Or do I want to provide for my family?
Right.
And, I have no friends, so I do have a roof over my head, and my kids are fed. And those are the kinds of sacrifices that I think we all make, but specifically just overall, we all know that the mom guilt is something that never goes away.
Never.
From what I've been told by my 95-year-old abuela, like, it just stays with you forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, women are just constantly feeling guilty. Like, am I nurturing enough? Am I around enough? Did I help them enough? I'm a servant, and if you want to cook and you forget that, then you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you're not doing your service justice. You shouldn't have to compromise your femininity just to be assertive, aggressive, or a force. You shouldn't have to take on masculine mannerisms to be respected, but unfortunately that's what happens. But the first thing everyone always says about me is she works her ass off, and so that's all I care about at the end of the day. So, like, there are so many cooks out there who've never worked for anyone great, who could be the next great. And you're passing them up because they don't have that attachment to someone else. And chefs snub me a lot of times, and maybe they don't like me, they don't like my persona, or they don't think I can cook. That's fine. Don't think I can cook, but don't disrespect me as another person in the industry. Whether my paycheck is as big as yours or not, I'm still here, and maybe I'm looking up to you in a culinary setting. And so what I'm noticing is more men are hitting me up for jobs than women. So women are staying in that job. So if they have to do a job for 2, they're doing it. 3, 4, they seem to be doing it because they're not coming to me looking. And so there's a weird turn that's happening right now. You know what I mean? So it's hard to really say, except I am noticing that women are staying a lot longer in the jobs. And I think not conforming. I'm a rebel. I'm very anti. So I think not conforming and wanting to be like the people who are blazing trails is important. To my kids, I stand out. They're like, look at my mom. She's up there. Awesome. She's not. Yeah. That's my food critic. Those are my biggest critics are my kids and what I'm doing. So it doesn't really matter to me what anyone else thinks. And I think as individual cooks, men and women, I just think you just have to go with that. And stay that way. Don't conform to be successful.
Exactly.
What I have noticed is, as far as cooks go, maybe there aren't as much as there used to be, but as far as restaurant owners, there are definitely more women owners, and front of the house managers, bartenders, wine experts than there were prior layout, because I think the culture has to change a little bit in order for more women to want to embrace coming into it. And if I can help in any way by sharing the story or who I am as an individual, to say that I really give my middle finger to everybody that tries to tell me I can't do something or to do something a certain way, I hope that influences girls to say I could definitely do it my way too, and to come out here. So I think if I can do anything, it'd be to influence more women to speak up, and more women to see that you can not conform, be yourself, be a mother, be a wife, and still be successful and be relevant. So I think it just takes one sometimes, and maybe I'm the one today, who knows? So.